Going live. We're live. Good morning. It is Friday morning. I think so. Yeah, I've been traveling and I'm back and I'm here for like 5 more days and then I have to travel again for 3 days and then I'll be back. But good morning. Hello. So today I've decided to get together and craft with you guys. One, I need to make something for somebody, and 2, I've been wanting to do some more things with the stuff that was in the back to school mystery box. Good morning. I feel like I need to move what I'm making out of a pre-made chalkboard, and then also show you guys how to do one from thrift store stuff and how you can create the look for less. So we're going to do both. I've already cut one of my pieces, so we're going to be doing a pre-made chalkboard with white vinyl, and then we're also going to be doing one with foil adhesive foil, and I'm using the rose gold. So this month, guys, I am going to be rose gold crazy. I just got back from Disneyland, and guys, the rose gold is not going anywhere. And now I think it's kind of like blush pink / rose gold is like super popular sequins. And so I ordered a huge fabric. It actually isn't fabric, it's a tablecloth, because it was cheaper to do it that way. I'll put it in my Amazon store, but I'm going to be doing rose gold a lot this month. So good morning, guys. Hi from Michigan. Okay, so this is kind of a financial Friday, I guess, because we're doing it on the cheap, but we're also doing they're both pretty inexpensive. So I'll show you all the pieces. I'm going to load my adhesive foil and finish cutting my project. So I just cut out a piece of white vinyl. Yes, vinyl right now. And I figured that's pretty self-explanatory. So I will cut this piece with you. So I loaded my adhesive foil. This is Cricut adhesive foil. So I'm going to use their settings. A good rule of thumb is if you're not using Cricut products, don't just use their settings. Maybe ask a few questions on the internet before you use the setting, or make sure, because I know with like the sticker paper and things like that, people have issues using other products. But this is Cricut adhesive foil in rose gold, and I'm not sure if they call it rose gold. It was in the pack, but I'm calling it rose gold. So I selected custom because I'm using my Explore 2 right now. If this was the maker, it would automatically send you to this step, but I'm going to browse all materials and I'm going to type in adhesive foil, if I can spell right. And then I'm going to click adhesive foil. There's 2 different options. There's adhesive foil and adhesive foil matte. And this is the regular, so I just chose adhesive foil. And then we're going to click cut. All right, so why it's cutting, thank you, and welcome. I'm happy I'm back too. Hey, Laura. Okay, so on this design, I don't think I'm cutting twice as fast. You might not be able to cut twice as fast with adhesive foil. Sometimes you'll notice, I don't think you are. With some of the products, the machine will not allow you to cut twice as fast because it's more delicate. It doesn't want you to cut twice as fast. It wants you to take your sweet time. So once I'm finished cutting, I'm going to get this out of the way, and then we can get working on the project. So we've got, for this project, for 2 of these projects, we're going to be using transfer tape. For one of them, we are going to be using the black chalkboard vinyl that came in the mystery box last month, the back to school mystery box that is still available. We're also using the white vinyl from the same box, which is still available. And then I'll show you guys. I used my strong grip mat, and I wasn't sure if I should have done that. I'm still not sure if I should have done that, but you know what? It was there when I needed it. And I wouldn't recommend strong grip for the vinyl. Personally, I would recommend the standard grip mat, just because the paper on the back tends to stick like that, and then you get stuck with it stuck to your mat. Your nice, beautiful strong grip mat. Okay, so I'm just gonna get this off of here. And of course, I'm making a big project, so I use my large mat. All right, now that's nice and rolled up. I'm gonna cut this, and I tried to keep all my, I swear I have to find my weeding tools. I have at least five, and I don't know where any of them are because I use them so often and I move them around so often. So let me get this cut out and then I'll show you exactly what we're doing in a second. I got some Hobby Lobby vinyl in the setting I was using, cut right through the whole thing. Always do your research. Yes, so unless you're using Cricut products, ooh, I almost cut that. Don't just use the setting. So same thing with the holographic iron-on that we talked about a couple weeks ago. It's very important to make sure you know what you're cutting on first so that you don't ruin your materials. Okay. Make sure okay, so I'm saving material by cutting it like that and then putting those in my scraps. All right, I love adhesive foil because it shows you those cut lines like really nicely. All right, so I'm gonna put my design stuff away. FYI, I just shot the design with me for this, which if you guys see, but it is available for the patrons and it'll be up today for you guys if you're a patron. I'm gonna keep this mat handy though because I like to weed on the mat. Okay, so we have two different designs. I'm just gonna cut and get stuff out of my way that I'm not gonna need for the whole tutorial. You know, this live thing is fun, but it is so much like, okay, do they really need to see me doing this? Do they really need to see me doing that? But yes, you guys do, I guess. Okay, I got my transfer tape and white vinyl. So excited to try out the transfer tape. Yes, so this is the transfer tape that comes in the box, and it is like a masking tape material, and I love it. And we're not even going to need that much of it because even though this design is pretty large, we're still not going to need, I'm going to cut this into the pieces that it is. So what I'm making is a last name established for a friend of mine that is getting married. So I'm putting the Garlands and then their anniversary date. And you'll notice if you are a patron and you watch the design with me video, I stopped because I wasn't sure if I wanted to add anything more because I want to put it on the board and then decide if I think I need any more on the board. And I also decided, I'll show you in a second. So I don't think I'm going to need very much transfer tape at all for this project. So I'm just going to cut. See, this is why I don't want a ton of this stuff all up in my face while I'm trying to craft. All right, now you go. Okay, now, see, I could have gotten it to this point before we did the live, but I wanted to cut this just to remind you, if you're using adhesive foil, make sure you're on custom setting and you are, make sure you do that. Okay, so we are not cutting this piece yet because we're going to use it as a whole piece. We got our transfer tape. We've got our two different designs. I got my white that's going on my pre-made one and my rose gold, which is going to go on that one. Okay, so my two different canvases that I have here, guys. I've got this. So this was in Briley's room. Her room tour goes up tomorrow, but you'll notice that there's one wall that is set up for us to DIY on. This is our first DIY project of it. There is, this is the center frame that's in her wall gallery, and I spray painted this. I got this from the thrift store. It was $2. I just took the tag off of it, and I hung it up empty, but I kept all the glass and the pieces in case I wanted to use them for the DIY portion of them. So we'll be doing some with like cork and things like that. But this one, we're going to do a chalkboard. We're going to make it into a chalkboard. So $2 for this one, which we'll get to in uno momento. That's 1 minute if you don't speak Spanish, like I don't, but I try. Okay, and then there's this one, which I got at Michael's, originally $24.99, but it's 40% off, plus they have a 20% off coupon. However, it has this rope on it, and I wanted to do it like this, but I kind of also wanted to do it like this, which would mean I have to take this off and re-staple it onto here. So then I was kind of like, is it even worth it? Should I just buy, a big frame like that one and make it, or should I just do this? So this is also another option. You could just get a larger frame from the thrift store, do what we're going to do on this one, or do this. So it came out to like $14. I got my homeschool planner, this, and glitter for $30. So it wasn't expensive, and it definitely not for a gift. So that was where I went with that. I was like, okay, I'm fine doing thrift store projects for like my kids and stuff like that, but when it comes out to being a gift, then I have kind of a harder time making it like that. So we're not going to do that. All right, so I'm going to weed these, and then you guys can help me decide if you think I should do it lengthwise or height-wise, I guess, with hot dog or hamburger way. We'll go with that. I got to get used to these terminologies, right? Because I'm going to be a homeschool mom this year. So, I know this is off topic. That's okay. We're crafting, so we can talk about anything here. But when you had an Etsy shop, did you do your own taxes or did you hire an accountant? Could you possibly make a video about the financial side of Etsy? I could do that. I did my own taxes just because I wasn't selling like thousands of millions of dollars on Etsy, but I think that it's doable to do your own taxes. But if you just don't like doing your own taxes, you could do we use TurboTax to do our taxes. And I'm already realizing what I was afraid of is what's probably going to happen. So I made the established 1818 really thin font. So I was worried that it wasn't going to cut, and it's pretty thin. So I might have to redo the 818 part, but we'll try. All right, dude. Don't give me any issues. All right, hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. All right, so we're going to weed this. So we use TurboTax. Depending on the size and detail of the piece, you could do it without tape, but yes, you don't need transfer tape if your piece is like one solid piece, but if you're doing something like this, you definitely need transfer tape. And to slow down when you're weeding, because you'll probably pick up a spot you're not supposed to. Alrighty. So what is everybody doing on this Friday? Not that I'm reading any comments. I wish I was, but this takes so much concentration, guys. All right. Come on. I'm so used to iron-on that when I go back to using foil and I just peel it up and I expect it to stretch and come off really easy, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this is vinyl. It doesn't work like that. Okay. So be a little bit more patient and slow with I could do iron-on with this if I wanted to. I could probably iron on to the chalkboard, but I figured vinyl, why not? We have a lot of it and it's more inexpensive most of the time. So I'm going to start doing vinyl for a lot of things and just getting better at it, because you guys know how much I favor iron-on, and it's time for me to start working with vinyl just as much as I do iron-on. So I almost think, because this is not Cricut's iron or vinyl, that the setting works good. It's obviously cut through, but I'm wondering if there's a better setting to cut Orcal on. So if you guys know a better setting that you use for Orcal, let me know. I welded that. Why is it not one piece? So my N has a little cut mark out of it, and I noticed it in my design. I think it might just be the font. It had this little sketchy mark in it, and now it showed up in the cut. I don't know. Okay, let's see what y'all are saying. Iron-on is life. I love the iron-on too. I know. And everybody asks, why are you using iron-on instead of vinyl? And the more you play with it, guys, you're going to realize iron-on is life. We love iron-on. I would probably have done iron-on on this project if it wasn't for being for someone else. Because I don't like, because I've never done it on chalkboard, so I wouldn't experiment on somebody else's gift like that. So I'm just using vinyl today. Plus, it's been a while, and obviously this transfer tape is so much fun that comes in the box. So that is something I wanted to use as well. Okay, so I'm going to do the lines at least, and then I might recut out the 8, 18, 18. I cut it on a very super thin font. I could try it, but I already see it's having an issue with the periods. Let's put this back on here. Okay. So, bathrooms are the worst. Okay. I've had my maker since Christmas, and I'm still trying to figure out what fun projects to make. I'm a first-time user of Cricut anything. Does anyone ever layer the glitter iron on? Okay, so both of those. You should get started working on your Cricut. Don't be afraid. Just jump in. I've got lots of videos to help you, first of all, and second of all, it's really not as scary as you think it is. I think the idea of the machine is more scary than the machine itself. That's a good one. By golly, I think it might work. The way the Cricut is designed, I think I spoke too soon. That one is really thin, is to be super user-friendly. So just jump in, girl. Get your feet wet with the Cricut. Do it. And then as for layering glitter iron on, you're technically not supposed to, but I do it like all the time, and it works perfect as long as you just get in there and iron that stuff on so good. The thing I love about glitter iron on is it is so durable. You could just like heat it up for days. Well, don't do that because it would probably burn something down. Okay, I'm just going to nix the numbers for now because they're really thin, and I don't even think they look good like that. So I'm just going to pull them off of this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm making this up right now. I'm using my, there we go. It worked. Okay. So I'm going to redo the 8, 8, 8, 18, 18. And I'm just going to put these guys on there. And I might even have to hold off on doing the lines. Okay. So we have, the one thing about this transfer tape that's a little difficult is it's not clear. So you can't really see your design on there when you like put it on, but I can visualize it. Okay, so this is what I need your guys' help with. Do I use this board this way and redo it and put the garlands and then, well, I cut it big enough so that I have to do it this way, and then do the date there with the lines? Can you guys even see that? Or do I do it like this and do it height-wise? I kind of like that too. I wasn't even anticipating doing it 2 lanes like that. So I know $99. I almost freaked when I saw it coming up. I made my layered glitter iron. What is $99? I'm guessing you're talking about, what is it about iron-on that makes you prefer it over vinyl? Good question. Just realized that was my birthday date, 8/18. Happy birthday, Whitney. I hate vinyl since I found iron-on. I just monogrammed. I thought the Easy Press, oh, yes, okay. Easy Press, that's what you're talking about. Easy Press on Prime today. You guys can find it in my Amazon store. It's probably on sale because that's what you guys are talking about. In my Amazon store for $99, okay? So get it because it's a good one. All right, I think I'm going to do it height-wise, just so I don't have to take the rope off. And I think it's kind of cute. And then I can play with the bottom part second. And then we can get working on the other one because I want to make sure that this one's really good. Okay, so what we're going to do, because this transfer tape is really easy, I'm just going to go ahead and use the whole piece. And I didn't even listen to you guys. I'm horrible. What do you guys think? Okay, so someone asked the other way, vertical. Okay, cool. Yes, vertical. We're going with vertical since you're the only one who answered that question. I prefer iron-on over vinyl because it has less steps. It doesn't have this step. So I would have been done at this step with iron-on, and I would have just bam, wham, thank you, ma'am, ironed it on. But with vinyl, I have to do this step. It also weeds a lot easier because it's already like really stuck onto that plastic coating that it has in it. The one thing that I don't like about iron-on better is that you have to reverse it. So a lot of the times, if you're going to make a mistake, sometimes it's usually that you forget to reverse your design. I knew that was going to happen. When you peel it like that, it really gets rolled. Okay, I should not do that. Okay, I'm going to do this like this, and I'm going to do this like this. And the thing I like about this vinyl is it's so easy to come off this backing, the Orcal backing, that it's like you don't have to really stick it very well. And then this transfer tape's not that sticky anyways, so it works great. And I'm going to be showing you guys this transfer tape with some new glitter vinyl that I have found, because you guys know how much I want to love glitter vinyl. You guys know, like, I literally want, it's like, I don't know what it's like, but I want the relationship with the glitter vinyl, but every time we get in the relationship, I want to break up like instantly. But I found some that I love, so I'm going to be showing you guys this transfer tape and how well it works. So look at that. I barely even had to rub this, and this vinyl just pops off so easy. And then because this transfer tape is so not that sticky, it's so easy to put on. Okay, before I do this though, I forgot to grab a rag, but I'm going to hit this with some alcohol because this tablecloth is interesting. I'm going to hit this with some alcohol, and then I'm going to let it dry because I forgot to grab a rag. But the thing that alcohol will do is get any oils off of here that will make the vinyl not want to stick to it. So I'm just going to let this dry, and then I sing the alcohol because it dries really fast. Can you guys see that? It's really cool. So it'll absorb all those oils. Actually, if I had a rag, it would take those oils with it onto the rag. So pretend like I have a rag that doesn't have any lint on it. I like to use just like a cotton piece of fabric to get it off. And I'm going to do that so that my vinyl will stick nice and good to this. It's drying really fast though. All right, pretend like this is a rag. This is really bad. It's a bad thing to do. Okay, so we're going to do this vertical. So I want to make sure I get this exactly how I want it. So I want the there. And this is the hard part about this transfer tape is you can see through it. It's just not like, it doesn't have the grid lines on it. Okay. Make sure that oil or that is very cleaned off. It was a Prime Day. Yeah, it was Prime Day, which I was traveling, so I had no idea it was Prime Day. Ugh, and I don't even know what it is. And having an Amazon store, I should definitely know these things. But, oh, maybe that was, I saw a big spike in shopping on that day. So it was probably Prime Day that day. This is like, make sure it's super dry before you put anything on there. My ring keeps scratching it. Okay, I think it's dry enough. And then I've never tried the wet method. So what I'm going to do is, where'd my measuring stick go? My ruler. Do they still call them measuring sticks? Are they even called measuring sticks? I don't know. Okay, so if you don't have a measuring stick, what you can do is use something else. And I'm just going to put my finger right there and make sure that it's pretty centered. But the thing about graphics like this is sometimes being mathematically centered doesn't mean it's the best way. Okay, so I like that right there. I'm just going to rub this on with my finger. And where is the mini t-shirt? What transfer tape are you using? I am using the transfer tape that came in the box this month in my mystery box. I guess it was my back to school box that came out. So this box is still available. There's a little bit left. And then we have some big announcements coming soon for you guys. So excited about it. I have a few big announcements actually that are going to be coming up. But yes, I'm wearing it. I don't know. I'm wearing a mini shirt. I don't know if that's what we're talking about, but that is what it is. Okay, so I just rubbed this on. Again, nice thing about this transfer tape is it's not very sticky, so it comes off really easy. But this is chalkboard, so sometimes it can have a little bit harder time grabbing onto it. because it has so many ridges in it, because flat surfaces are the best for vinyl. Now, if it was iron-on, it would go on this like a dream probably, because it would like fuse into those little pieces. But I think it's going to all work out perfectly. And then the more you use this transfer tape, the easier it gets too, because it gets less sticky. And I find that the less sticky, the better. So I don't like my transfer tape super sticky because it makes it really, really hard to get off of your design. All right. All right, so it says Gearlands. Yay. Okay, so now we want it to say the Gearlands. So I'm going to, I don't need this whole big piece again, I don't think. So I'm just going to cut it so I don't have to deal with all of it. I'm going to get a little bit smaller on one side so I can reuse the big side for the Cinderella carriage that we're doing on the other design. All right. So, can you use iron-on the chalkboard? Will it stick? Yeah, that's what we were talking about. So I would use iron-on on this if I was making it for myself or making it for a let's try it video only. But since I'm making this as an actual gift for somebody, I did not want to do a let's try it and ruin it. But I will be doing one next week, just like this with iron-on, and we'll be doing the iron-on glass as well. So I've got 2 other frames that I'll be doing just like this, like I just said, iron-on glass, iron-on, and iron-on chalkboard. We will try it next week. So the Gearlands, I'm just gonna lay it like that, and then I'm gonna look at it. So you can you can see through it. You guys can't. See like that? See like that? You see it? Okay, so I'm trying to decide, do I want it to kind of like, can you guys see it? Do I want it to be over to the right, or do I want it to be centered and above it? I think I want it to be over to the right. To the right, to the right. And you're really supposed to do all this in Design Space, but I've found that it doesn't always work out how you design it in Design Space. Sometimes it's better to actually see it on your project and move it all around. Move it all around. Yeah, because then I think I'm going to put a swirly on here eventually too. All right, that's where it's going. All right, so we're going to rub this on really good. Rub it on. So you can use a tennis ball for this sometimes. You can use your palm of your hand. You can use the scraper tool. There's lots of different ways to get your vinyl to stick on. I've heard tennis ball is the best, but I don't have a tennis ball. To the right, to the right. Yeah, to the right. I think I liked it to the right too, especially because I already committed to that. Just found you on YouTube. I'm a newbie. Welcome, Lori. So, yeah, we'll be having a yard tube sale soon, hopefully. We're going to move offices, and now we might be staying here for a little bit longer. See, look how much faster that one was. First of all, I rubbed it a lot more. Second of all, the transfer tape is less sticky the second time, so it works so good. Okay, so do I want to do the line? I think what I want to do, I'm just going to use this like a sticker. I think I'm going to put a very small established, hold on, I gotta make sure this is perfect. I think I'm just going to do a very small established A1818, but then I have a lot of this negative space down here. So I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with it, but I really like it. I think it's cute. I like it. It's more like a graphic than like something that you read. It's kind of like, I don't know. I just like it. I like it a lot. How is the Cricut Maker? I got the Air 2 about a week ago, but I don't know if I should return it and get the Maker or just buy the Maker 2, like as well, get them both. I mean, girl, you could get both and go crazy. However, the Maker is going to do exactly what the 2 is going to do, but more. So if you feel like it's not doing I guess I'm done with this. If you feel like the maker, like the Cricut Explorer 2 is not doing everything you want, then I might suggest getting the maker and not the 2. But realistically, if you use fabric, then the maker is what you want. But if you don't use fabric, the 2 is amazing. You guys notice I use the 2 like for everything. The maker is actually at my house, so I use it more for like sewing projects and things like that. And I just haven't had time to sit down and sew a lot, even though I really want to. And I'm going to start doing more tutorials on sewing and stuff like that. I hope soon. But I use vinyl and iron-on so much because it's so fast and so easy. I don't have to whip out my sewing machine and all that. So if you're a seamstress and you love to sew, then the maker, obviously. But if you're not a seamstress, you don't have your sewing machine out all the time, and you're really just looking to do stuff like what I just did, the 2 is my favorite machine for sure. Obviously, if I start sewing a lot more, I might realize, and then obviously they're coming out with more tools for the maker all the time. So there might be a day when that switches for me, that I'm like, okay, they just came out with a scoring tool. I'm not a huge paper crafter, so it wasn't a game changer for me, but for some people it was. So obviously if you're a paper crafter, the maker might be something that you want to get. Did that help? I feel like that didn't help at all. Just get them both. I'm just kidding. Love my Air 2 for my vinyl and paper crafts. Yeah. And you can still use a scoring tool on your 2 as well. All right, guys, we're using foil, adhesive foil. I don't know the last time I used this, so mercy on me if I mess it up. The thing I've noticed about foils is they're so hard to like rip that I have a hard time being patient when I weed them, because you have to, it's kind of like the Orcal vinyl. It's no different really. It's like the same. So we're going to weed this, and then we got a lot to do. As I just said, it was really hard to rip, and I just ripped like a whole sheet of it off. I got a big scrap there that I could have saved, but whatever. All right. So did I say we're having a yard tube sale? We're working on a yard tube sale to feature a few things that you guys have never seen before, and we're going to be trying out like some really cool things, and then that should be coming up within the next couple weeks. So we'll be doing that. No leather cutting from what I understand on the Air 2. Faux leather, it will cut, but you need a deep cut blade. And if you want to cut real leather, the maker is probably your thing for sure, because it has higher pressure. Although it only has higher pressure for its new tools. It doesn't have higher pressure for the original blades, because those blades are not designed to withstand that much pressure. So the knife blade is going to be able to withstand the higher pressure and all that good stuff. Oh, FYI, this is an SVG from the Cinderella file for the patrons. If you want this design, it's been in there for a while. I'm going to start using a lot of our designs that we have, so you guys can really get to see a lot more of what the patrons get, because I know a lot of you guys wonder, like, what files do you have and all that good stuff. So, and now that I'm back from traveling I've been working on designing for you guys a lot more. So there's going to be new designs being added within the next month. There's going to be a lot of new designs added to the library. And then we're going to be working on finding some of those really good people in our group, in our patron group, that already design. And we're going to be doing some file sharing. So we're going to have like them be able to share projects and stuff. We just have to make sure that you know how to actually design and your designs work and all that good stuff. So those are some of the new things that we're going to be focusing on for patrons. And there's also another perk that patrons will be getting in the next few weeks that I can't announce yet, but you guys will be getting it, and I'm excited for it. It's in the creative process right now, so I can't announce it yet. All right, this foil, I feel like, so be careful when weeding the foil because it dents really easy. It scratches and dents, so you really don't want to get on your design at all. Plus, if I was using a weeding tool, it might be easier. Okay, I won't tell anyone that you're watching me from work. That's funny. Okay. So, and I'm also going to be going live a lot more. I've decided I want to do crafting tutorials, even Walt Disney Wednesdays. I'll probably be doing some lives for coming up soon. So I'll be prepping crafts and stuff to do with you guys. And then I was thinking Saturday mornings would be a fun day to do crafts together. So I'm still trying to figure out my schedule, especially with homeschooling, because Lord knows what that's going to look like. I don't know. I might have no hair by the end of it, but I might. I'm actually really excited to start homeschooling. I started working on our schedules and enrolling the girls in a lot of like their extracurricular stuff yesterday. And I think that we're all going to love it a lot. But I just have to balance that. I might do like crafting with the kids on one day a week and crafting by myself on another day of the week and all that good stuff. So lots of fun coming after my life slows down from traveling. I look forward to your lives while I'm at home in my craft room. Yeah, so another box, question mark? So let's see. What do I want to tell you guys about the exciting new announcements? I obviously can't tell you everything about them. One of them will be Cricut related. One of them will be my box related. And then one of them will be just related to other fun announcements. And then it will also tie into the patrons and what they get. So that'll all be coming within the next few weeks, hopefully. Some of the people I've been working with work really fast and are amazing. So I have high confidence that this is actually going to come out in the next couple weeks. So, okay, this is what that looks like now that it's weeded. It is Cinderella's carriage. So if you guys don't know, because you don't follow me on Instagram, Auntie_Tay, shameless plug, Briley was Cinderella in a play a couple weeks ago. I feel like it came and went so fast because we traveled literally the next day, or I did. Oh, and I haven't told you guys about camp. It was really fun. But I decided I wanted to put something Cinderella in her room for her to remember this summer and her playing Cinderella in her first play ever. She literally got the lead. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some chalkboard and I'm going to cover this. But what I want to do is I'm not going to do that for this one. What I've noticed with chalkboard and when you use chalkboard pens, once the pen sits on the chalkboard for a really long time, it's not designed to come off. Chalkboard pens are not. I did it with a menu that I was anticipating to be able to erase and rewrite. So that's one thing I think I might remake with this chalkboard vinyl soon is our menu. So one thing that you could do is do the chalkboard and any permanent letters that you want in your vinyl on the chalkboard itself, or write on it. And then if you want it to stay permanent, put the glass over it and keep the glass a part of it. Obviously clean it. This glass is really dirty. And use your chalkboard pens on the glass because it'll work and then it'll wipe off really easy. It's almost like a whiteboard. Whiteboard pens will work as well too, but the chalkboard pens are really pretty and vibrant against this. So I'm not going to do that with this one because I just want this to be this and I don't want it to say anything and I don't anticipate her writing anything on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the glass with this today instead of the cardboard in the back. So this is like exactly the size I need this way, and then it's just a little too big this way. So I'm just going to cut it the size of the glass. I'm homeschooling my little one too. Yay! I loved homeschooling. I homeschooled my son from 2nd grade until he graduated. We used the Abika curriculum. Yes, so I have not chosen my curriculum yet, and which is funny because I probably should. It's like something I should really do. But I have been really focusing on like all of the things that I want them to do throughout the year first and get that scheduled out. So then I can work around that and figure out like, okay, what curriculum is not being covered by these classes and all that stuff. So we've got some pretty cool stuff signed up. They've gotten signed up for like a science class. They've been signed up for Okay, so this is what the cool thing is you get funds to homeschool, and regular school is cutting so many things out of what they offer. And then families that can't afford to do sports and fun things aren't able to do all these things because they used to rely on school to be able to give their kids those opportunities that they couldn't afford outside of school. Okay, so for this, I'm just gonna slowly peel back and work any air bubbles out if possible. And I wanna make sure it's straight. So I'm gonna go from the top, I believe, and not just the corner. And I want to make sure it's nice and straight. If a little bit of the glass shows on the edges, it's not that big of a deal because it will go into the frame. So I was looking at all of the things homeschool offers now, and you get state funding to be able to do them. And like my kids can do so many things just from their funds alone for school. And like, that was so exciting to me because I was just like, this is really cool. Like, there's no excuses anymore for kids not to get cool experiences. Because when I was a kid, like if you were poor, you were poor. You went to regular school, and you didn't get those experiences. Okay, let me make sure that this frame is actually going to cover this because that is pretty wonky. Oh yeah, we're good. I think. Let me flip it upside down and put it in there. Okay. I use different ones for different subjects as she has one different levels and learns differently on each subject. I wish my state augmented homeschoolers to help them out. Okay, so let's make sure once I put this in, it's going to cover. Yeah, and I think I've talked about this before, the fact that my kids are late risers. So you could cut this larger and wrap it to protect from the glass, but I'm going to put the backing back in to make sure that, why is it not wanting to go in now? Maybe it's not technically a square, it's a rectangle a little bit. Why are you not going in? I tested this before, did I not? Okay, so I have an extra piece of vinyl sticking off of this end, so I can really shove it in there. I do not want to cut myself and die in a live video. That would be awful, right? Okay, so it'll fit in there and it'll cover it, and it's going to look like that when it's done. But before I put it in the frame, I'm going to put the design on it because I'm going to end up gluing it into the frame, and I don't want to like push on it while it's still the glue is drying. So where'd my transfer tape go? All right, so we have this transfer tape, and I'm going to, of course it's not big enough. It's okay. It'll be okay. And as long as I get the majority of it on transfer tape, actually, where's my transfer tape? I'm going to cut a little bit more of a piece because I don't want to chance it. I'm going to cut just a little bit more transfer tape off of this. And this transfer tape is really inexpensive, so I don't have to like baby it as much as Cricut transfer tape because that stuff is like gold sometimes, and you're like, no, we're not transfer tape. So I'm just going to overlay this and create one piece of transfer tape with it. Don't die. Yeah, I thought about that for a second. I was like, okay, if I cut myself with this glass in a live video, I mean, you guys as my witness, and you guys can call 911 for me, but all that good stuff. We don't want to do that. Okay. Love your videos. I started using my vinyl for the first time because of you. I use different ones. I read that one. What is the name of that transfer tape? How many are you homeschooling? Yeah, someone was asking someone else how many they're homeschooling. This transfer tape, I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but I will get you guys a link to it in the description because I can't remember exactly what it's called. But it's good transfer tape. So, except it's a little less sticky now. And I'm not sure about this Cricut vinyl because Cricut's products are uber sticky to themselves. Like this backing is a little bit harder to get off than the vinyl because it's Cricut product. So that is the one thing. Cricut's transfer tape is designed to work well with Cricut products because they need that strong transfer tape. And I got these little stars that I want to stay on my transfer tape, and they're having issues. Okay, I got it. All right, so my number one rule for transfer tape, if it's not peeling the back off as well, is to pull back at this angle like this and press firmly. Come on, this stuff is pain. I lost a star. All right, I'm gonna put you over here. I'm gonna use you in a second. Okay, let's try to pull the transfer tape off. Well, no, that's not gonna work. Cricut products stick so well to themselves sometimes. They make me have a headache sometimes. I love you, I love you, I love you. Okay. I might need a fresh piece of transfer tape because this is really sticking to itself. So I'm going to take this transfer tape off. I'm going to use a fresh piece because it needs to be like super sticky because it's Cricut product. If it's not Cricut product, I don't know what they do, but it sticks like super good. It's why I do not like their glitter vinyl. It is so hard to get off of anything. Not anything. It's so hard to get off of the backing. So it makes, at this step with glitter vinyl is when I go crazy. So if I go crazy with the foil, we'll know how I feel about their foil, huh? But I could probably use their transfer tape and it'd probably work good too. Except I put all their transfer tape over there, out of reach. But you get my gist. It's the same concept now that it was with that one. We just created our own chalkboard. And there's bubbles in this one. And I need to make sure there's no bubbles. Live videos are so much fun because I make so many mistakes. It's okay. It's okay. We'll just cry together. What am I doing with my life? Go on there and go on there smoothly. And just do it like I say to do it. All right. Your singing is so much fun. Oh, thanks. I sing when under pressure because it makes it not as awkward. Actually, I sing all the time. I sing every day of my life. And I think my kids would vouch for that. I'm a singer. I sing a lot. If I'm not singing, I'm humming. If I'm not humming, I'm singing. Those are the only two options. You are showing that you're a real person by making mistakes. And my number one saying in my office is, well, in life, is mistakes means it's handmade. So usually everything I give to people has a mistake, and I'm like, at least I made it because I love you. And, you know, if I were to buy that and it had a mistake, then that's just dumb. But if I bought it and it was perfect, how much thought went into that, you know? Like, if it has a mistake on it, it means someone loves you because they tried their best, right? Could just be me being delusional. All right, so obviously with the Orcal vinyl, this transfer tape works amazing. With Cricut's foil, adhesive foil, it may be a different story. I'm going to work my way from the top because that's a bigger section of it and no little pieces. Sometimes that works too. Working your way from the easier part of the design and then ending on the harder part of the design because obviously the harder part is the hard part. And then you don't want to like lose all your momentum once you get through that easy part and like accidentally stick it back together or something. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. It's actually working, guys. It's working. By golly, it's working. I got the stars. The stars were made to worship, so will I. It's my favorite song right now. If you bought it with a mistake, that would mean you didn't care too much about them. Right. So if you buy it with a mistake, you weren't really thinking. You're just trying to get a good deal because you probably got it at a discount. But if you make it with a mistake, it shows how much you care. Yay! And I only lost one star, and it's over there. We're going to put it on. Okay. So I want it to be centered, and I also want it to cover those bubbles. This is a thrift store project, guys. This cost me $2 plus the products, but it's probably not centered. No, it looks pretty good. I like it. All right. So now we shouldn't have to rub too hard because it's very sticky and the transfer tape doesn't stick that much. So I'm just going to rub it on with my finger. Puritan women that knitted actually made mistakes on purpose in their projects because they believed only God is perfect. That is interesting. Yeah, I don't know one project I've ever made where I'm like, it's perfect. Because it's never perfect. Alrighty, guys. Can you see this? This is absolutely beautiful. Could you look at it? Would you look at it? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Can you see that big old bubble right in the middle? That's my obvious mistake to show you that only God is perfect. I got to put this little star on there too. All right, let's get that. Let's see if we can work that bubble out some way. Come on. I think it's the part that has the... So this foil iron-on, or whatever it is, foil, adhesive foil, is not very forgiving. And you don't want to get any bubbles in there. I got bubbles in there. I got a big bubble in there. Sometimes I've seen people like take a X-Acto knife and just make a little slit and push all the air out. I don't have an X-Acto knife with me right now. But if a bubble is just not coming out, that is one way you can do it. And I also think if I would have cleaned this glass a little bit better, this chalkboard would have stuck better to it. I'm a lazy crafter. That's what my blog should have been called. The Lazy Crafter. Because I'm so lazy. But look at, I got that air bubble out. That was easy from the black. So these bubbles come out pretty easy. All right. Cinderella needs that bubble to sit in. You're right. I'm leaving that. Look, it looks like kind of like Cinderella's in there. Can you see her? She's in there. And then that's another way to make mistakes not so mistakey. You find excuses for them. And then you say, this is because Cinderella's in there. You say things like that. You know, and kids eat that stuff up. And you know what? Making projects for kids is so much fun because they don't notice this stuff. They just know that you made it and you thought of them. The sound is awful. Okay, I'm going to finish this part. I don't like that noise at all. Like, at all. Can you tell? I just want to be done with this part of the project. Sometimes crafting is not my favorite thing. All right, so if you have to cut it off the glass, beware because the sound is really bad. Okay, let's try this again to fit it in here. So this is the top, so I need to make sure that that's the top and it goes in there. There's also these lovely, oh, it fits perfect now. I guess it was just that. That was the reason. So good thing I took one for the team and I made the awful noise. So this is glass in here. So just make sure if you give somebody something like this or you make something, you realize it's glass. And I was going to glue it in, but it has these cool little, whatchamacallums, things to hold it in. And if it was just the glass, if you were doing this like with no chalkboard, which I might do one next week like this, with no chalkboard and you just want it to be see-through, then you would just put the glass in here and we would glue it in. We wouldn't just, because it has this backing, it's protected, so it's going to squish it in there. And then it looks like this when it's done. And with the bubble is going to drive me nuts. It's going to drive me buco nuts. I got to get that. I got to fix it. Because there's a difference if it's like a mistake, and then there's a difference if it's like something that you just completely ignored. So write this down. I don't have Facebook, really. Yeah, we've got moderators in here, so they'll take care of it. So let's see, how would I fix this bubble? I'm going to try I don't know. I think this is my first time using adhesive foil. Is it? Not bad for my first time, except I really want it to look better. And I think I kind of want to add something. I wanted it to be a little minimalistic, but now that I don't know, it's pretty cute. But I'm going to slice this with an X-Acto knife and then just squish it down. And I think you won't notice it that much. But look how cute it is. Do you love it? I love it. Okay, so Rose gold is my thing right now, and we're gonna, oh, I forgot the little star. Did I put it on there? One more star, and then it'll be complete. Ta-da! All right, that's what it was missing. It was missing the last little star, that one. Okay, so that's fun. That is fun. But you could do that with the white. You could do that with any vinyl you have. But we only had black and white vinyls in the box. Everything else was iron-on. Next week, I'm going to use some of the iron-on and the chalkboard to do iron-on chalkboard signs to show you guys how to use some of the iron-on that we get in the box. The box is still available. The link will be in the description. I did not put it in the description before I started making this video. But it's the back to school box, and it has chalkboard, it has white vinyl, it has transfer tape, and then it has 6 colors of iron-ons. Some of them are glitter, some of them are holographic, and some of them are regular easy weight. And it's a great box, has tons of staple colors in it, and we're going to be working on stuff with it next week. So, and I might go live tomorrow morning for our first Saturday morning craft day, because so I tried to do, this is what I'm trying to balance with homeschool. So now we're just going to hang out and chat for a little bit. That craft took us 56 minutes to do 2 of them, even though we chatted a lot. I think we stayed on pace for most of them. So an hour to do 2 frames, not too bad. But what was I saying? So balancing homeschool and my YouTube videos, especially doing live videos, Saturday mornings have always been a time where it's like, okay, that's, no school, so no work. But now it's like we make our own schedule. We could literally do school and work on Saturdays if we wanted, or we could do this, not do school on Mondays or whatever it is. I don't know. So I'm thinking Saturday mornings are going to be a good time for me to do Saturday morning crafts, and maybe with the kids, maybe with Dustin. I really want to do some series. I want to do a series with him so that we can teach him how to do all this stuff, because he's pretty good at stuff like this, though. So he's not the best newbie to do it as an example, but he's a guy, so it's like he doesn't think about this stuff all day. Some guys do, but he doesn't. And so I don't know. I just think it would be good to have him. You guys loved the video that he was in, and he likes to make that one known anywhere he goes. It's like, did you know that her highest viewed video is the one that stars me? He's like that. So did you decide to homeschool Briley too? Yep, I am homeschooling both of them. They are enrolled. We are good to go. And it's one of the reasons we were kind of looking for a new office. I wanted to have a space for them to come and do schoolwork and have their own crafting space while we did. We're trying to figure out what we want to do with our lives. So that might look like, I don't know, just come along for the ride, and we'll let you guys know what's going on. I don't know. We had an office in place, and then kind of ended up being kind of a weird situation. We weren't sure. They were asking some weird stipulations and stuff, so we were like, we don't know. But you guys know we have the battle here. Our AC has had issues. There's a couple other things that we'd love to have in an office, like a sink, because when you craft you need water. So all that good stuff. So this is my first live video to get to watch. I just joined Cricut Base. Welcome, Carrie. So yeah, I'm gonna get to work. I'm designing a lot for you guys right now. So I'm going to get back to designing and finishing that project for my friend. And the patrons will be getting some announcements soon. You guys will be getting announcements soon too. And I'm excited about that. So love you guys. Goodbye. End stream.